Good morning. Welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about Retirement Boss Radio. Guys and gals have joined us for a great webinar if you're looking to grow your business. Our presenter is Dave Pimper. He's the president of Lazarus Coaching. Give you a little background on Dave. Dave has been in the business since the early 80s. He has had radio part of his business for probably 20, 22 years of that time frame. So a lot of experience in radio. Dave also does a lot of seminars. His marketing acumen is very high. He's a big believer in getting in front of as many prospects as you can to grow your business, and is willing to go to the expense and effort to make that happen. Retirement Boss Radio is currently his best method of doing that. I'm sure some of that is a little pandemic related. He does a lot of seminars, and that used to be until last year, about February. That was his top method of getting direct contact with new prospects. Now it's the radio, and radio right now advertising is a little bit cheaper. Response levels are a little bit higher, so it's a great opportunity. So I'm really glad that you joined us today to talk about that. My name is Steve Murray. I'm the president here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. I get the honor of joining Dave most Tuesdays when we talk about a sales or marketing approach to help our producers. It's something that I really enjoy making available to our team, so I like doing those with Dave. We've been doing these together for probably 10 or 11 years. I guess I'm a creature of habit, and I enjoy that part of it too. So I'm glad that you all joined us again this morning. I'm going to run through just a couple of things. I'm going to do this rather quickly because I know that the folks aboard here, the folks that we invite to this are kind of, generally speaking, at a higher level in terms of producers, and many of you are already familiar with these programs. I see a couple of you relatively new, so I want to make sure that you're all familiar with the new Producer Builders program. Very simple. Your first 180 days of being with us, you have access to kind of marketing opportunities on steroids. The odd idea from our standpoint is we can get you rolling with us, and then throw you some ways to get in front of some new prospects that we can begin to build a relationship on a really high level. What I would say is you're looking at those producer builders. If there's something that you're already doing or something that you want to try with a similar expense associated with us, by all means, we're okay with that. We'd like to chat with you about that and see if we can do something there that makes sense for you. We're all about helping you grow your business, and we know that we don't have the master plan for everybody. I want to make sure too that you're aware of our RPM program. The Refer Produce program is really simple. You refer a colleague, and they take advantage of doing business with us. Even if, when they just get appointed, before they do business, we're going to send you a check. But when they start doing business, those dollars really start to add up. Some of the biggest checks that we send out go out to folks based on RPM. And so I want you to take advantage of that if you have a colleague. We built our business on referrals just like you. We've been able to produce this program that really makes a financial difference in a lot of our associates, a lot of the folks that do business with us over the years. It really makes a difference in their business and their lives to get those checks quarterly. We'd love to be sending those checks to you. Marketing reimbursement's another really simple program. You do business, we put money in your marketing reimbursement account. You spend money, we match your marketing spend dollar for dollar. So you kind of double the value, double the work, double the value of your marketing dollars when you do it with IAMS. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. You all know that service is key to your business. Everybody promises it. Some are better at it than others. Most of our competitors would agree that we are about as good as anybody at supporting the producer through the sales process and through the business submission and the business issue process all the way to commission. We work with you every step of the way. A lot of guys aren't used to that. They're used to, hey, I'll get my business in there and get it out, and doing all the work in the middle. We do that for you. It's something you have to feel to really recognize. And so I would just encourage those of you that may have just done a case or two with us, or maybe haven't done your first case, to give that a try. I think you'll be really pleased with the results you get on the back office side. One of the things that we've done here is Firelight is an e-app platform, and we did a single sign-on. What that means is you can get any company that offers Firelight that we have on our system. You can access them all through our website now. So you don't have to go to each company's e-app. You can just go to our system and sign on directly to them. There's some advantages to being able to do that from your standpoint. If you're doing apps on one individual with two carriers, the fact that you can cut and paste and it automatically populates a lot of those cells for you with those two carriers all at once is really handy. If you come back, you write a case a year later on a client with, you wrote it with Equitrust first, now you're going to write another case on them with Athene, you can go in and grab that information and move it across. I would say in general, the e-app process is one which as a producer in the field. I hope our guys and gals that have been doing that, especially over the last year or 16, 17 months now, have really taken advantage of the eApp system, and I think they're really happy with it. Makes you look more professional, I think, to your clients when you do it that way. It's a lot more repeatable, so if there's an issue that comes up and it needs to get corrected, which are very few on the apps because you really have to complete everything in order to get it through the system, but once you've done 2 or 3 of them, you won't go back. It really makes your life that much easier. So get with your sales director, have them get you set up on our Firelight system through our website. It's about a 3-minute setup, literally. They can get you registered and out the door and ready to do your e-apps through multiple carriers all through our website. Creative marketing, they're your advertising team here at IAMS. And if you think about it, number one, an advertising team that's going to do some work for you pro bono, going to do whatever work they can for you at cost, and you're going to use marketing reimbursement dollars to do it. And they're an advertising agency that knows your business. So if they know everything about what you need to do because they've been working with folks just like you for the last 18 years that are growing their business, and how do they, build your image, make things, how streamline things so that you can nicely put things on your social networks for you so that people know what you do and how you do it on a mass basis. I would encourage you all, if you have not taken advantage of the Annuity Awareness Kit, you got an email on that today. Take advantage of that, ask for it. There's a lot, social posts, fact finders, everything that you can think of that you would be that would help you with your clients, help you on your own, kind of pick up your annuity awareness IQ and take advantage of everything that we have here already pre-built around helping you build your annuity business. That's called the Annuity Awareness Kit. And if you want that, you can call me, send me an email afterwards at steve@iamsinc.com. If you didn't receive that, or for whatever reason you saw it and didn't think much of it and deleted it, you need to get that kit if you're selling annuities. So please let me know. But that's just like some of the stuff that they do. If you don't take advantage of that, of our advertising capability, I think you'll be disappointed. I think, and if you do, I think you'll be very pleased with how quickly, how professionally, and how easily they can help you with some of that image building stuff and some of that stuff that help you increase your sales. We got a great website. I've referred to it briefly a little bit already with some of our back office stuff. A lot of stuff out there, term quoters, annuity. I call it the annuity sales engine. You go in and basically decide which, hey, I need the best MYGA for an 82-year-old in North Carolina with 5-year terms, and it'll spit out for you all the best ones and make sure it has all the features that you want. It's a nice, really super valuable sale a search engine that you can use for annuities. That's what we use a lot of times. So if you call in and you're looking for something, a lot of times we'll just go on our website and look at that. You can do that. We're glad to do it for you, but you can do it at the website. A lot of other things you can do out there. I would encourage you, again, call your sales director and say, hey, this is my business. Tell me what's on your website that I need to take advantage of. Retirement Analyzer is a piece of software that we make available. It's at our expense. We pay a fee for access each month so that our producers, guys and gals who do business with us, can have access to that. You can see up from the screen a lot of things that you can do as we go forward with best interest type stuff, getting more fiduciary requirements, getting more. You're going to want to have a tool like this. Retirement Analyzer is one of the best ones because it is, in terms of ease of input and value of output, it's the best one that we found. They really do a great job on answering those questions that you see before you on the screen and many others. And it's really a great way to build a relationship. If you have interest in getting access to that, even if you're not doing business with us, but if you're on this webinar today and you have access and interest in getting access to that, call Marcus here in our office or call David here in our office, and they'll send you out a trial so you can take a peek at it, maybe run one on yourself or run one on one of your A or B clients and just see how it looks. I think you'll be pleased with the output. And again, we're gonna if you're doing business with us, we're gonna take care of that expense for you on an ongoing basis. If you want to go out there and get it yourself, you're probably looking at spending $70 to $80 a month on that. So Retirement Analyzer, Marcus, David Corin, really good stuff. IAMS Wealth. I'm gonna put up a poll, I think, if I can. I'm gonna make sure I have a poll. And all I want you to be thinking about in this poll, if I have it. There we go. I do have it. So I just covered up with the poll, but if you're looking to increase your revenue or get your client relationships a little bit stickier, and you don't have your 65 yet, IAMS Wealth can help you through that process. So I think as the DOL gets working, they're going to find more and more ways to make it important for you to be able to offer the securities part of the business. And if you are not able to do that, I think you're going to have a place that you refer it, which we can help you with that too. You can refer to IAMS Wealth with one of our folks, and in many states we can pay you referral type of ongoing commission or bonus. Some states we can't, some states we can. But that's not the best solution by any means. The best solution is for you to have your own ability to do that, and we're probably going to be as good as anybody helping you get through that testing process, because we've done it. Most of our producers that are on IAMS Wealth have come from our insurance side, and I see that as continuing to be the case. But also, if you're already an IAR and you're looking for a new RIA, maybe you're not happy with your payouts, you're not happy with the fees that you have to pay, you're not happy with the support that you're getting, I think hitting yes on that poll and asking for a 5 or 7 minute conversation with Sarah or Charles or one of our other team members over there, I think you'll find that time well spent, and at least kind of set the table for yourself and what they can do and how they can help you. Maybe the time's not right now, but maybe it gets better. Maybe it becomes more right for you 6 months from now as you see more things developing. I will tell you that it's a great missed opportunity if you're 45, 50 in the business of annuities and insurance. You will be amazed by how much more opportunity with new clients having the ability to offer investment advice via 65 will bring to those businesses and will add to your bottom line in terms of fees on an ongoing basis. So it's a great thing to do. We're glad to help you to do it. If you have interest, put yes on that poll. Looks like we have about 6 or 8 of you that haven't voted yet. I'd appreciate you, and I should have said this at the outset, if you can just give me a quick yes or no, I appreciate that, and we'll get moved on. And as you're making your final decision there, I'm going to mention something that maybe many of you are not aware of. I know that most of you are, just looking at our list of attendees, but we have a top producer summit, and of course we had to cancel our trip to Puerto Vallarta because of the pandemic last year, but we kind of upped the ante on our next one. We're going to go from Rome to Venice via cruise from August 28th of 2022 to September 4th. If you looked at your calendars at all, that's right. That's the Labor Day weekend that you will be returning on. And we're going to have stops at Sorrento, Messina, Italy, Corfu, Greece. We're going to stop at Greece. I think the star of the event that many people don't realize is Dubrovnik, Croatia. I've heard that's just a beautiful, beautiful port. And we're going to stop there. And we're going to go to Zadar, and then we're going to end up in Venice. And so that's going to be a nice 8-day cruise. We're all going to be on the concierge level. Everybody's going to have a balcony, which is going to be nice because you're not just going to be in the open seas. We're going to be cruising right along coastline, the Italian coastline, the Greece coastline, right up through Croatia and back into Venice. We'd love to have you and your guests join us on that. It takes 4.5 million. I'm going to close that poll out real quick. Thank you all, by the way. There's only one person that didn't vote on that. I'm going to close it out. You can see the ports there. So it takes 4.5 million, and that's an 18-month qualification. Right now, we still have about 13 months left, so plenty of time to write 4.5 million of annuity premium. You can do that. All of your business counts. So it could be life, single premium life. They all have corresponding, like a dollar of target premium counts, I think 11.5 times. Dollar of single premium life counts 1.5 times. So all of your business qualifies to get you and your guest aboard with us on that great cruise. So we'd love to have you join us. And qualification, as I said, ends in June of 2022. We'll be heading out in late August of 2022. So plan on joining us for that trip. If you're on this webinar, you're certainly capable of writing that business. Follow us or like us, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'd love to have you join us on either of those. There's some things that we offer via LinkedIn and via Facebook that we don't offer any other way. So we appreciate you following us or liking us and being part of the IAMS team. So we're going to move right on here. Let me see if Dave has joined us.
I have.
Hey, there he is, the coach. Boy, I really talked you up before you joined us. Just so you know, I hope your head didn't get too big while you were finishing
Yeah,
up on your last
I
appointment.
I can barely make it through the keyhole of my door.
Well, if we keep thinning you out like we do on that picture there, you'll be able to make it just fine.
Yeah, exactly right. I've been able to gain skinnier. That's right.
Uh, so as you can all hear, Dave with Dave Pimper with Lazarus Coaching has joined us. As I mentioned Dave earlier, Dave's got a lot of experience, and today we're going to talk about Retirement Boss Radio. You're going to love this. There's some great opportunity right now in radio, and what Dave has developed has made it really. I mean, nothing in this business is like you can't lay down and be successful. You gotta do a little work. But what Dave has done is made it as simple as possible to get you in front of appointments. This is not like image building radio. This is appointment building radio. And Dave has really put everything together to make this a very opportunistic time for that. As I mentioned at the outset, the radio advertising is a little bit lower cost right now because, of course, there's fewer advertisers and response rates are higher. Dave is, I don't want to say doubled, but you've probably seen your response rates increase by 35, 40% during the pandemic. So what a great
Hmm.
way to build your business. So let's take a minute now, sit down, and hear a little bit from Dave Pimper, the coach, about Retirement Boss Radio.
Thank you very much, Steve, and you are gracious. I appreciate that, and thank you everybody for being. Got a lot of folks today, so that's great. A lot of people want to hear about radio. Um, I will say this first of all. I've been in the business for 40 years, so I joke I'm just trying to figure things out right now, but I'm a marketer. I enjoy marketing. I've done the majority of my marketing really has been. I certainly use newsletters, which is kind of branding marketing. I use educational seminars, over 500. Actually, I did my 540th public seminar last Thursday. I did a Wednesday, Thursday Social Security seminar, 10 appointments, so I was happy about that, in a town of 26,000. And then we do a radio show. And I've, out of my 40 years, over 30 years, I've either had a radio show of some sorts or a ending marker report. Tried 30 and 60-second ads, and that didn't get me any traction. But an hour show, much different. So it says become a radio show host, be the local celebrity. And what happens is that in our business, and Steve, do I have the slides? I wonder, are they
Not yet. Go.
mine or?
I'll advance it for you if you're ready.
Oh, that's fine. Good. Okay. Good. I'll let you do it. What happens is that having your own radio show gives you not just branding, but gives you a lot of recognition. Almost gives you a celebrity status, different than seminars. But you got to ask yourself, why would you consider radio? Well, first of all, fairly unbelievably, radio reaches more Americans each and every week than any other platform, including the social media platforms, meaning your TV, your smartphone, your personal computer, connected devices. Radio, if you are 75,000 household income or above, 93% of those households average 12 or more hours of listening to radio a week. Okay. Now, younger adults seem to want podcasts more, or they've got Amazon Music or Pandora, but talk radio, it's hot. I mean, even with Rush Limbaugh passing away, I see they're filling his spot with maybe three or four of the top hosts in news radio. But radio, when people listen to you and they come in for an appointment, it's kind of like, oh, you're actually the guy. You're the gal. You're the one really doing it. So we'll go to the next slide. So I guess I can't. There it is. Okay. So Rush Limbaugh is now deceased. They're still doing reruns on Rush, and I know our local, who I have my local radio presence is with KFAB, big 50,000 watt station in Omaha. But it's a Rush Limbaugh station, and what happens is Glenn Beck, Kim Commando, Dave Ramsey, Those are some of the bigger named players. And the reason they advertise, the reason they have shows on the radio, because they make money. I mean, is that plain and simple. There are syndicated shows which are usually on during the week. We are on usually during the weekend, you know, from Saturday from 6 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, that's the time period we like. Or Sunday from probably 7 till 2. My show's on at 12 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and it's been a very, very good time spot for me. Now, here's what I'll say. First of all, if you're thinking radio is just too expensive, it's truly not. We just went into a major metropolitan city. I mean, a big top 5 city here in the U.S. And he's in it's not one of the top 1 or 2 stations, but it's a very good station. It covers millions of people. And interesting enough, we could only get half-hour times. Right? I like to go out for an hour, but we could only get half-hour times. But all in, that cost them $2,700 a month to have millions of people that those airwaves are going out to, and thousands of people are listening at any one given time. Well, what do you have to do in having that's a half an hour show, but we normally put in hour shows. Yeah, I mean, you know what? If the average is going to be from 2,500 on an hour show to maybe 4,000 or 4,500, you can just kind of go figure it on out. I mean, if you just do 70, 80,000 on one piece of fixed index business, you've covered the entire cost. And remember, this is a turnkey system. So I put it together. I coach, and I run my business through also, but coach to an insurance agency marketing services. Steve Murray, CEO, is hosting this with me today. He introed it with the IAMS information. But what happens is that I've got I went out and got a trademark right away on Retirement Boss Radio, Take Charge of Your Money. So that's a trademark name, and it's a track. It's a turnkey track, A through Z. So first of all, what you have is we've got a radio media buyer. He has over 400 shows that are on air every single week. Great at what he does. In fact, we just got another real competitive pricing for this is a large city down in the Southwest, one of the top 10 largest cities. But as long as you have 100,000 population or more, that's enough to go in and to have Retirement Boss Radio on the air. But he goes out and shops at very best pricing. And this last pricing that he got, every one of those have between 10 and 15 promos a week of 15 or 20-second promos promoting you and your company with Retirement Boss Radio. Of course, we have a logo. The second thing is we got a production company that they have available to us a co-host. I use the same co-host every single time with all of my people and myself, and they take all the mistakes out of it. They scrub it, get it down to exactly an hour, and then they send it off to the radio station. Now, in reality, because we do save production time, they put the ads in, and I mean, they just do a great job. And but we only, for an hour show, we only record each week, and this is a recorded show. So you can record. I record in my office, or you could in your home, or for that matter, you could do in your car or your hotel room as long as you got Wi-Fi. There's a link that is set up, so it sounds, and you do have to buy. The only thing really up front you got to buy, unless you have it already, are professional headphones, professional mic, a little studio box that deadens the sound, and a little pop cover that goes over your mic that makes your popping P noises and T noises kind of dulls them down. But it sounds like you're right there in the studio with them. And they have software, expensive software that you're able to use as you're doing the show and then communicate back and forth just as like if you're together. There's a website called www.retirementbossradio.com. www.retirementbossradio.com. Certainly, if you want to jump on that after we're done, that's our website. We have a white paper. We've got a lot of good information about how the radio show works. But it's when you get the show notes, and you can of course verge off or on from those show notes, but it gives you a guide of what to say and what to talk about. It's very much associated around financial and retirement planning. And one of the things that I add more into it than because I redo the show notes every year, or every week, is what happens is that I think that Social Security is key. So if you don't know Social Security, I will coach you up and not charge you a thing. The IAMS actually is paying me; they're stipending me to coach you up on Social Security, but we'll coach up to 3 sessions on Social Security at no cost to yourself, because about 30% of your business comes from leads from Social Security. I just talked to one today. It's my second appointment, which is my fact finder. 150,000 strictly came in from the radio. He works as a aviation mechanic, and they've been listening to the show and said, "Hey, we need to talk to Dave Pimper." And what he really wants, his wife is a few years younger, but he'd like to roll. He's going to retire in 5 years, and he still has another 700,000 in his retirement plan. And that's before it grows here. So he'd like to roll that all over and have it at one place in case something happens to him for his life. So hope I do a good job for him. And he must be more conservative because he is getting closer within 5 years of retirement. That all came from Retirement Boss Radio. You know what? If we can get 10 appointments a month from Retirement Boss Radio, though I've done more than that, but if we can get 10 a month, pretty darn happy. Pretty darn happy. Those are set appointments because people call into the recorded show. We open up the phone lines. We use our phone number a lot. We got a pretty strong close at the end of call by the offer. All of this is given to you. And then they call in. It goes to an inbound call center. That inbound call center, their whole goal is one thing: set the appointment. We don't mail that information. We don't call them back. We set the appointment. If we can't set the appointment, then we go on to the next one. Yeah, I've had it. Do I have weeks where I have none? Very few. Very few. No appointments, very few. I've had weeks where I've had up to 10 appointments. Yep, 10 appointments. And it just depends on kind of what hits that day. But the show notes are very good, and they talk about very current subjects, just like this last one that I recorded, and I'm 2 weeks out. Most people are only a week out from the recording to actual airtime. But it talked about Secure Act 2.0, about RMDs going up to age 75 over a 10-year time period. How 401ks, the company can auto enroll you in. To get out of it, you've got to go in and default. Set it as the default now to get out, not to get in. So we try to stay current. All those show notes are given to me. I walk through them for my group. Add Social Security lots of times if it's not in there. We throw some Medicare stuff in because our shop is a Medicare shop also. But if it's not, then you just don't do that. You just take out that bullet note. It's all in Word form, so you can certainly rearrange. If you spend 30, 35, 40 minutes every single week, kind of not memorizing, but really understanding, adding maybe you're a fixed index guy and you want to talk more about guarantees, you can certainly do that. But I like for you to follow the track because the track works. And then myself, I coach you about what to say, what not to say. We role play on the show notes. I'm going through a guy right now in a big city out on the West Coast, and we're going through all the training. And he's still 3 weeks away for his show to start. It takes about 4 weeks from the very beginning. So just out of talking all about that, remember, it sounds complicated, but it's a turnkey system, and Dave Pimper being the coach is certainly helpful for you. Okay? See if I can go back here. Yeah. Now, here. So this right here I'm kind of jumping around here, Steve. Can you get me back? I'm
You know
sorry
what?
about that.
Let me see.
There it is. There it is.
Hmm.
As you can tell, I'm not very good on the tech side. Um, Once we go in and keep going, Steve, I'll tell you when to stop here. One more. Right there. Right there. That's the sheet that comes over the email. And that email, I can do it here. That
I got it.
email, yeah, will shoot you this email. See how it says like KFAB's where they heard it? This comes from the appointment call center. Appointment, yes. Date 3/5/19. Appointment time 8:30. Turning 59 soon. Hasn't settled on someone yet, meaning an advisor. He has a 401k that is seven-figured. Also had questions about Social Security. He drove up from Lincoln, which was 45 miles to Omaha. Had a really good talk with him. But this comes across, and coming across your email, I mean, excites you because they set up the appointment through an electronic calendar. They have your back end electronic calendar, and it works really, really well. That's at www.retirementbossradio.com. Yeah, a lot of star power in being a radio. So the cost, yeah, you know what? If you figure for an hour show, 3,000 and maybe 4,500 a month. I mean, it's a pay to play, but you're getting a lot of exposure. A lot of people listen. You cannot catch the pandemic by listening to radio. We certainly have locations available, not all, but many large locations are still available. I train you, I coach you. So I coach you up a couple, 2-3 training sessions of coaching on radio to kind of get you going. I critique your first radio shows, and we have coaching sessions on the first two of what to say, what not to say, what you've said, what's good, what's bad, how all the components work together. The end result is we want to just have more business. We want to have more appointments. Al Jolson's an old actor. He says, I'd like to do radio just like pictures leave the imperfect stuff on the cutting room floor. Well, you can, because radio being recorded, you can go in and absolutely cut out the stuff and edit the stuff that you don't want people to hear. There's no saying. It says procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Well, you know what? Tomorrow never comes, does it? Don't let it happen to you. If you heard something today that you like, you should go in and Steve Murray's going to put up a poll that if you'd like to have more information on Retirement Boss Radio, maybe how it could help you, or how does it fit into your market, or is there availability in your market at a fair price, then you need to mark yes, and we will talk. We'll talk a little bit about what you're doing right now and what you've done in the past. It's all confidential, but I'm a coach. I'm not a mentor. You don't follow me around like I follow Tiger. Say I follow Phil Mickelson around. Boy, wasn't he something this last weekend? I watched that whole thing. Yeah, he's unbelievable. For 50 years of age, the oldest winner ever of a major. And but if I walked around with Phil and watched everything he did and said, Dave, just go play like me. That's mentoring. Coaching is, I'm never going to get as good as him, but he's going to put the club in my hand. He's going to watch my swing. He's going to help me through. He's going to give me all the advice of what and how to do it. That's what I do. I coach people up on Retirement Boss Radio, how to be a retirement radio host, and that's what you're doing. So, Steve, I'm going to turn this over to you. Answer any kind of last questions, and we'll be out of here for today.
Good. Thanks, Dave. Great presentation as always. The one thing that I mean, there's a lot of very general information that Dave was able to give today. And if for more specific information, what does radio cost in my area? If you want to talk about what your licensure is and whether that fits. So Dave is, series license. He's got a 65, he's got a 7, he's got a 6, he's got a 24. But he does show notes that are tailored to just insurance only folks, and then folks that are also able to offer security. So the show notes are very important. That kind of gives you the track that you run on, as Dave mentioned there earlier. So that's, I think that answers a couple questions for you. Costing, I sent an email out, or not an email, a quick chat out to everybody. If you want to check on your area, hit yes on that poll. Dave will make a quick call. We've got a media buyer, probably the best in the industry. I mean, their family goes back 60, 70, 80 years in the media buying business, and they are, and with the types of stations that you want to be on. So they've got a great group there that does a lot of that. Dave, I've got a couple questions about, how about understanding the things that we talk about? So there's some folks that, or you mentioned Social Security. I know you do a lot of Roth conversion type conversations on your radio show. What are some of the other things that you talk about on a daily basis on your radio show that you can help the folks kind of coach them up on some of that information if they need that coaching? What are the most
Yeah,
popular
retirement.
topics?
Yeah, I would say that Roth conversions is it's a hot topic. I would say that's talking about specific guarantees about how our shop, we shop guarantees, which we do when we shop fixed index and fixed. I don't go into the specific. I don't use the word annuity. I just say a contractual guarantee, and my broker dealer wants me to say it's only as safe, of course, as the company that backs that. I don't say insurance company. I say company. Um, we talk about in-service non-hardship withdrawal plans or provisions, allowing you to take money out of your 401k, your 403b, your thrift savings plan, TSP, at 59 and a half or older and still work there and roll it over, because a lot of people don't know you can do that. I just did one yesterday, about 100 and just a little less than 100,000, and it was through a in-service non-hardship. That was actually from Carter Lake. They came from Steve, which is kind of Nebraska. It's Iowa, but it's like Nebraska, Iowa, by the airport. And they've driven in twice now to Fremont, and we wrote the business yesterday. That was from Retirement Boss Radio. I think when you're going in there and just talking, I mean, like current events, like we talked about, I mentioned the Secure Act 2.0, how RMDs are going to be phased in. I think that's going to pass too, bipartisan, but up to age 75. So we talk about income planning. We talk about, expense planning. We talk about just a lot of different things. And I have a list of about 15 that I call hot items that I give all of my listeners. Listeners are the people that I'm coaching for Retirement Boss Radio. But in Social Security is one of the hottest. Social Security, because how many people really understand Social Security? Of the advisors, only about 10%. And if you're one of those, you stand out. And so I coach you up. Yeah, and thank you, Steve, because you paid me a little bit to do that. But we know that the benefits of knowing Social Security can be great when it comes to when you're setting an appointment and kind of fact finding and setting you apart from everybody else. So that just gives you some ideas of the areas that we talk about.
Yeah. One thing we didn't talk about too much, and I've seen it firsthand, is the value. When I kicked off the meet, I said we're not talking about the opportunity to build an image. What we're talking about is the ability to get appointments. And so you're pointing in the course of the radio show to, hey, let's open up the phones now. And of course, it's not live. So what's happening is you open up the phones, people are making the call into your phone answering service, who, by the way, is
that's exactly that's right.
Them. Very good. And they're going to make that appointment for you, but you cannot discount the value of when you're walking around your town that people know that you're on the radio. And I've seen that firsthand with you, at the golf club and things like that. People know you get a certain amount of credibility just because you are on the radio. I probably haven't told you this story, Dave, but the biggest radio show guy in the Omaha area is a guy, and he called and he's looking at making some changes in his business. He said, Steve, I see people every day, and frankly, I'm tired of seeing people. So he's getting ready to sell his business, and he was considering whether or not. I know, it's crazy. And he's made all the money he needs to make, Dave. You can imagine who that is. And so he's like, I would like to keep my fingers in it, but I don't want to do it full time. So he said, I want to get 3 or 4 advisors. He can support from his radio show 3 or 4 advisors that can do 15 to 18 million a year from his radio show. And of course, that takes a while to build up that kind of listenership and that kind of a reputation.
Well, Steve, you know what? Just let you know, yesterday, I had 7 appointments yesterday, and I like to have a maximum of 4 a day. Now, those 7, 2 were coaching appointments, but still 7 appointments. I'm thinking, I'm too old for this. But you know what? I got 2 really brand new first appointments, one was from a seminar, one was from radio, but 2 really, really good monies available going on to the next appointment. Well, I like my appointment filled up. I like my calendar filled up. I like to be busy each and every day if that's possible. And with radio marketing, and of course I'm a seminar guy too. And we got 10 appointments from this last seminar. And Steve, not to get off subject, but make sure we do mention something about seminars too, because that's at least worth talking about.
Yes, yeah, I would agree. Yeah, and what we've seen overall in the seminar business, we've seen that open back up. And how well does radio play in the seminars when people see, hey, yeah, as heard on KFAB, Dave Pimper presenting a seminar specifically on Social Security claiming. If you want to learn more about Social Security claiming, you're going to go to Dave's seminar. You're not going to go to the other 4 seminars that are being offered. And make no mistake about it, right now seminars are opening back up. You people,
Hmm.
you know more about your specific area, and we're working with some firms, White Glove and what have you, to see if there's opportunity in every given area for seminars. But seminars are coming back, and they're going to come back in the hottest way. I know early here, May into June, there's going to be kind of a slow burn. Summer months, July a little tough, August a little tougher, but when you get to the fall,
Oh
you need to
yeah.
be setting things up right now because it's just going to get hot for seminars. There's a lot of pent up demand in the marketplace right now for people to get out
Well, you're so
and
right.
hear from
So
financial
right.
professionals. Yep. So
Hmm.
a lot of
Hmm.
great opportunity, and everybody sees that because we're at nearly 100% voting, and about 85% want to talk to you, Dave. So
Oh, good.
really
Good.
great webinar today. Thank you all for joining us. Is there anything that you want to add as we close up here this morning, Dave?
No, if you're not happy with where your production is, or you want it to grow, there's only one way to do that, and that's to have more contact with qualified prospects. And so what we do, and it's one of the reasons I really do enjoy working with IAMS, and I have for 15 years. I've coached for 15 and production in going in the 15th year also, is that they understand that they make no money. That FMO does makes no money unless the producer produces. So I think part of your slogan is the producer first, and it's so true. And that's why Retirement Boss Radio or seminars, anything to do with getting that person in front of you, that really helps the production. So hope I can talk to a lot of folks and give you some insight and see if there's any fit for us to help you with your with your production.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you joining us yourself. I know you have, as you mentioned, I know you're just stacked up on appointments this week, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Thank you, producers, for joining us as well. Appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, and really anytime we've got folks, this radio is kind of a higher level. It's not, I think really anybody can actually do radio based on the coaching and the assistance that Dave can bring to it. I think 90% of folks can do radio, and I think everybody that does radio will find it's going to benefit their business in as big a way as anything possibly can right now. But not everybody jumps in. And so the
Yeah.
fact that you've all tuned in here today and are listening and want to hear a little bit more about it, whatever we can do to help you, you let us know. We have a bias towards people that are willing to do some things that are slightly out of the box to get their business to grow. I would recommend you all take a listen to the podcast at retirementbossradio.com. Listen to one of Dave's shows and don't be intimidated by that. My experience is that everybody sounds very similar to Dave. The rate between the production and those show notes, you really get some good. The coaching makes you sound really good on the radio, and that you're going to be proud to be walking around your town and people know that you're out there trying to help them find their way to retirement. So have a great afternoon, everybody. Thank you again, Dave. Good luck on your appointments
You
today,
bet.
everybody.
Thank
You as
you.
well, Dave. And let's have a great finish to your week before the big holiday weekend. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.